Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video, I'm going to be performing a Cochran's Q test, and I'm going to be interpreting the results for you as well. A Cochran's Q test is basically a non-parametric statistic that is used to usually find out whether there has been any improvement or difference created as a result of an intervention. So here you can see three basic variables we have. One is the pre-program, then we have post-program, and then we have a longitudinal program. So essentially we have about 20 respondents, and we are trying to find out whether a literacy program that has been given to the respondents has helped improve the percentage of literacy in the community. So we assume that there are only 20 members in the community, and 0 here stands for illiteracy or respondents who are illiterate, and 1 stands for respondents who are literate. So we want to find out whether the literacy program has had an impact on the level of literacy among the respondents. The post program basically refers to a situation where we are measuring the level of literacy immediately after the program has concluded, probably about a week later or so. Whereas when you go to the longitudinal variable, this is basically measuring the level of literacy among those 20 respondents after 3 years. So that's why it's called longitudinal. So let's go ahead and find out whether the literacy program has had an impact on the level of literacy. But before we go into the test itself, you need to remember that the coding has to be done carefully. So the coding has to be 0 and 1, and 0 usually represents, here it represents 0 illiterate, and 1 represents literate. So let's go ahead and perform the test. For this we need to go to analyze, we need to go to non-parametric statistics, we need to go to k related samples. Let me just reset this. So these are our three variables. We put them in one by one. Okay, make sure they are in order, and then we check off readments, and instead we select Cochran's Q. Now remember, the Cochran's Q only works when you have a dichotomous variable where you have zeros and ones as responses, and you have at least 3 variables. Okay, 3 variables are the minimum. For example, let me show you this. Yeah, if I only include 2, it doesn't work. So I need to have 3 variables. So I've selected Cochran's Q, then I click on OK. So here we have the results. So the most important thing here is the significance value. As you can see, the results have turned out to be statistically significant at a very high level, 0.001. You can ignore the success and failure aspect because that's how it's coded. For us, we need to remember that 0 stands for illiteracy and 1 stands for literacy. So here, as you can see, the number of people who are literate has steadily increased after the intervention. Okay, so that's all we need. Now we'll go to the interpretation of it. So here I have created a quick table on how to interpret this particular result. So here you have the timeline, you have illiterate, literate, the percentage of literate people, and then the Cochran's Q value, the degree of freedom, and the p value. So basically this is how you interpret it. This is my style of interpreting. You may have your own style. Table 1 shows the results of the Cochran's Q test. The results show that the percentage of literate individuals has steadily risen since the intervention, and that after 3 years, that is a longitudinal, a vast percentage of the total respondents, about 95%, were found to be literate, indicating the success of the literacy program. Moreover, the results have turned out to be statistically significant at a very high level in this regard. You can just look at the results and you can make up your own mind. So before the program, there were 50% of the entire population was illiterate. After the program, that is about a week later, it was up to 80%, sorry. And then in the long term or the longitudinal view, that is about 3 years later, you can see that the total number of people or the percentage of people who are literate was 95, which indicates a success. So hence the research hypothesis that the literacy program was effective in improving the percentage of literate individuals in the community is accepted. So basically these tests are conducted to basically test the hypothesis, and so we found that the research hypothesis can be accepted because of the significant result. So that's about it for this video. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please like it and subscribe to my channel for more such videos. Thank you and bye for now.